The second thing is I want to take just a moment of personal privilege before we launch. Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of my baptism.
Wow.
Which was kind of amazing because I hadn't even been born yet. But what I discovered, and I hadn't really remembered, is that in the same 8-day window of my baptism, political operatives broke into the Watergate Hotel and set in motion political upheaval that would last for years. And in that same 8-day window, Title IX was put into force. Anybody know what that is? What does that do?
Yes, girls play sports.
Women can play sports, especially sports. But the idea was that there can be no discrimination based on gender in education or school activities in federally funded programs. So these are 3 momentous occasions that happened in one 8-day period. One of them momentous only to me, perhaps.
Well, big to us.
But I found myself thinking about how in that season of life when I was a child, late 60s, early 70s, it felt like the world was on fire. There was political unrest and there was civil unrest. There was an unwanted war that was happening. So it was actually a common occurrence to see news footage every night in our living room of people getting shot and dying in this unpopular war. People were burning draft cards and bras and cities, and it felt like there was no stability to be found. We know, because we've lived through it, that we rounded a corner. But right now, it can feel like the world is on fire again. There are wars, and there's unrest. There's gender unrest, there's racial unrest. There is all kinds of tension loose in the world. And different stances on things that are happening at the federal level. People of genuine faith have different opinions. And so it can feel like the world is on fire, especially when we feel like we have to go in and make statements on social media and add accelerant to the flame. So my invitation to us as people of faith is to not add accelerant to the flame. Instead, to enter with 2 key qualities. One is humility. To acknowledge that even though I am passionate about what I believe and think, I do not know everything and I can be wrong. And the second is compassion. And that is to see other people as worthy of love and respect, even when they do not agree with me, and maybe especially when they do not agree with me. Yesterday, in my personal devotions, I happened to be I'm reading through text, and I came across a passage that I've known for years. I have preached this text, I have loved it, I've memorized it, but for some reason I just wasn't thinking about where it was when I was reading. And then it jumped out at me. Paul was writing to his friends at Philippi, and he said, "Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Keep on doing the things that you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, and the peace of God will be with you." So as we, people of faith, prepare to worship the living God, let's take just a moment and catch our breath. Let's ask God to tune our hearts and our vision so that we might think about what is honorable and just and commendable and worthy of praise, and that might be where we focus our attention as we move forward in humility and compassion as people of faith.